Hello and welcome to Elizabeth's Craft Room. I promised I would come back and give you some hints and tips on using varied vases with the punch. Now, the first thing I'm going to say to you about this punch is, do you notice the vases are upside down? So that means that when we punch them, we need to have our vases upside down. It's going to make life a lot easier. So here we go. I've got my piece upside down there. I'm ready to punch, and I'm going to punch that upside down. Okay. And way easier than if you do it the other way up and you're struggling. So here's our first little vase. That looks cute. But what if you want to punch quite a few vases? Okay, here we go. I am going to show you a super duper way of using the Stamparatus along with our punches. So here we go. We are going to go ahead and punch out the shape of the vase builder. Now that means that I can put a piece of card in there and I know that that is going to punch out correctly. Right, so I'm going to bring in 3 stamps. I'm going to bring in one solid, so that one there, and then these are the patterned versions of the vases. I'm going to pop all of those in. And once I'm sure I've got those nicely lined up, I can pick those up with the Stamparatus. Okay. Now I can go ahead and ink those up and stamp them. So let's do that, and I'm going to do these with the rich raspberry. And they look really pretty, and what is really a dream now is I can bring in the punch, and looking through I can line that up perfectly and go ahead and punch all 3 at one time. Let's get that other one out. There we go. So as I've punched them out, let's make a little card, shall we? So I'm bringing in my Big Shot, no thin die adapter because I'm going to do some embossing. And I'm going to take a piece of Blackberry Bliss, that is in the same colour family, which is in the Regals, and pop that through. Now this is just like a straight line on this embossing folder, and it does give quite an interesting effect and just add a little bit of texture to a project. Our base card will go for the rich raspberry. So if I pop all of these together, first of all, it's difficult to know which way round. These both, that looks, I think I'm going to go that way round actually. So let's put some Tombow glue over here and line that up. Might need to do just a little trim down the edge. There. And put that piece onto the rich raspberry. And then I'm going to want to do a little panel for my cards. So let's take a piece of Whisper White. That's 2 3/4 squared. So there we go. We can put a put some flowers on there. So with some StazOn ink, I'm going to start off with that one there, and I think I want one in the middle. It's going to take a little scrap here to mask. And then have this one like so. Let's do a little bit of colouring. So I'm going to stay in the Regals family, and actually it's quite a good way for me to learn my new colour families as well, to do cards that stay within those families. So I'm just going to colour in this as though this is leaves rather than petals. Get a little bit of green in there. Put orange in there, and that's the raspberry, and I'll just pop a bit of blackberry bliss just on there, and I think I'll leave the rest of that flower at the top white. And now we'll decide which vases go where. I'm kind of thinking that one there. And the nice thing, because they're cut out, is we can space them however we want, but we can also overlap them, which is rather nice. So I'm going to start off with Tombow glue for this particular one. Pop that one on first. And take a couple of mini dimensionals for this one, so I can put one up at the top and one at the bottom. There we go, we can then overlap those two vases, and I think we'll have this one out on dimensionals as well. And yeah, the minis are a really good scale for this stamp set combination. And again, let's pop those like so. I think again I will pop this up a little bit with some regular dimensionals. I've stuck that on not at all straight. Did you notice me doing that? I'm so going to have to fix that. That is not at all straight. You're coming off. Bear with me just a minute. There's jaunty and there's jaunty, but that was well not jaunty. That's gone. Let's start that plan again. Okay, here we go. Is this going to be straight? That's better. Were you sitting there watching me stamp the other things and looking at that card and thinking, she's made a mess of that? Okay, now I'm going to put this on. And now we're straight. Okay. And I could put a little greeting on here from this stamp set. There's quite a few. So we've got "You're simply the best, hoping your day blooms with happiness. Thanks, hello, and birthday wishes." So I'm going to just put a little birthday wishes on here. I'm going to stamp that in Blackberry Bliss. And no pressure after all the "can she get it straight." I'm going to pop it down there. There we go. Just under that piece at the back there. So there you go. So Vivid Vases. So remember when you're punching, your stamping. Stamp your vases upside down so you can punch them, and use this as a template so you can line your stamps up on a Stamparatus and get them perfectly lined up every time. Thanks for visiting Elizabeth's Craft Room today. I look forward to welcoming you back again soon.